These are the three main types of fertility treatments that we'll speak about briefly: ovulation induction, IUI, and IVF. Pregnancies are precious. Some have needed a lot of time and money and stress to get there. And what do you need to know about the clients that you're training? People may be a lot more cautious before, during, or after their fertility treatment. We know that exercise is important for helping fertility and to managing stress, because particularly IVF can be an incredibly stressful process. We know that being overweight or underweight can impact fertility, and certainly for men being overweight, that can impact the quality of sperm. Regular moderate exercise can help overall. Excessive exercise can negatively affect fertility, so it's a bit of not too little, not too much, and each person will be guided by their individual fertility doctor. Ovulation induction is the first one to speak about. This is when medication, either clomiphene or letrozole, is taken to stimulate the ovaries and encourage them to ovulate more regularly. There are no injections, and people have sex at certain times of the month to try and increase their chances. Overall, around 20 to 30% of women aged under 37 will have a child over a course of up to around 3 or 4 cycles of ovulation induction. Clomiphene is kind of the original fertility pill for those who don't ovulate, who don't have regular cycles, those with a shorter duration of what we call unexplained infertility. It can be a good one to start with. Side effects include feeling flushed or hot flushes, headaches, dizziness, nausea, problems with eyesight, and vaginal bleeding. Letrozole is a new alternative for those that can't take clomiphene. There is a slightly increased risk of twins, so that risk is mitigated with some regular scans. So hopefully people's workplaces are somewhat flexible in order for people to attend those scans. These side effects are very similar compared to clomiphene, the main one being hot flushes and hot sweats. A monitored cycle for ovulation induction can be anywhere between $500 and $1,500. IUI is intrauterine insemination, kind of the next step up from ovulation induction. It's when sperm is prepared in the lab, and the best ones are put directly into the uterus. When trying naturally to conceive, usually around 1 in 100 sperm that are ejaculated reach the uterus, so it's just giving them a bit of a head start. You can combine this with one of the medications like clomiphene from the last side to increase the chances, but because of that, it will increase the risk of twins. IUI cycles need regular blood tests, scans, appointments, and injections. So again, hoping that the workplace is quite flexible with that. And this with women who are aged 37 and under, after 3 or 4 cycles of this, around 40 to 50% of women can have a successful pregnancy. And this cost of this start at over $2,000 per cycle. And then lastly, IVF, which is in vitro fertilization. So as you can see with the numbers, you can start with number 1, that medication is given usually by injection to stimulate the ovaries to produce more follicles and more eggs. They then go through an egg collection, which can be or can be not under sedation. Then sperm is prepared in the lab, sperm is mixed with the eggs, then fertilized, and you have a bit of a waiting period to see if any embryos develop. That can get quite stressful, of course. And then the embryo with looks like it's going to have the best chances of success is transferred into the uterus or is frozen for a later transfer. In terms of numbers, for example, you might get around 10 eggs and end up with 3 embryos that are able to implant. So it's a bit of a numbers game. After the implantation, people need to act like they're pregnant. So all the eating safely, no alcohol, exercising as much or as little as they want, really, and then they need to wait 10 days to see if that's been successful or not. So as you can imagine, this can be an incredibly stressful process, not to mention very, very expensive. For example, the egg collection alone can be $7,000, and each embryo transfer can be $2,500.